I got 4 questions in my hand. The first question, dear Master, in the book, The Life of Buddha, it says that the birthday of Prince Siddhartha, the enlightenment of Dharma to become Buddha, and the parinirvana of the Buddha all happened on the same date, hence the 3 great days in Buddhism. Why in this temple these are commemorated on different days? I think those days are not the same days. The day when Siddhartha was born, the day when Prince Siddhartha attained enlightenment, they are on different days. How can they be the same dates? I don't understand. Maybe we have to research more onto it. It's not the same date. They are different days. So even if it is on the same date, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, it may not be on the same year. If it is not on the same year, then it's not the same days. So, second question. Please kindly remind the people not to suck the food when eating. It sounds horrible. I didn't hear people sucking. I only pay attention to that guy talking on the TV. And when I pay attention to the Dharma, I forget everything about non-Dharma. So I didn't hear any sucking and any sucking noise. Maybe it's the neighbor, the fellow next to you that is sucking. Then you just give him an elbow. So I didn't hear any sucking. So it sounds horrible, yes. But different people have different habits, and different people have different educational background in the family and at school. So don't expect that much. The fellow next to you is not your son, is not your student, and they're entitled to what they want, unless they are hurting you, unless they're frustrating you. It may sound frustrating, but you have to prove it is frustrating. Some people may find the sucking to be a piece of music, you know. So we can't judge on that. So we have to be careful in this. Next question. Were there any meaningful things you learned on your trip abroad? I learned a lot in this trip. Maybe I will give you a summary because we still have to. I only have about 15 minutes to talk about it. I can tell you a lot about my trip. I went away for a month, and on the first 7 days, I spent all my time in organizing a book fair exhibition, because every year they have a book fair exhibition in Hong Kong where it attracts more than 1 million people from Southeast Asia. The book fair is in Hong Kong in the exhibition center, the whole building, and they can accommodate more than 1 million people. And we have a Buddhist section on the 3rd floor. So I've been given 2 booths to display my, every year I have a little bit of creation. I got DVDs produced, I got a book produced. Every year I have to produce at least a book. I wrote a book, so I have to autograph that book. And next year I'll be producing another book. Hopefully, I'm requesting for 2 more booths. And that book fair is not just in Chinese. It's in English too. 2 floors in English. 5 floors in Chinese, 2 floors in English. So there's a lot of people all over the world going over there. So I spent the first 7 days over there. And then next I went to northern Thailand, to a place that is called Mae Salong. That is the northernmost part of Thailand, where there is the Golden Triangle. Have you ever heard of the Golden Triangle? Where the triangles like Laos, Burma, and Thailand, it forms a Golden Triangle with water there, and the islands, small islands in between. And that's the place where they used to grow opium, trafficking of opium. Now no more opium. They don't grow opium then anymore. So Mae Salong used to be growing opium, but the opium is now replaced by tea plantation and coffee plantation. And I have a lot to tell you about tea and coffee. Because I taste the best tea and coffee in there. It's 500 feet above sea level. And it has become a tourist attraction. Why do we want to go there? It's not because of the scenery that attracts us over there. There's a lot of the poorest people in Thailand over there. And there's a long story why there are poor people over there. It's a very beautiful place, but with squatter huts and the huts, the roof of which were made of metal. And then there's nothing inside the hut, and it's stinky and smell, and they don't have enough food, some of them. School children often have to travel 1.5 to 2 hours to the school without shoes, and then they come back 1.5 hours, so 3 hours traveling back and forth without shoes on. And they don't have electricity, and they don't have water, and very, very poor. So I went over there. The intention is to relieve poverty as much as we can. And the reason why I go over there is not because I feel very proud in having the ability and the financial ability, getting all the donations to donate in there. I like to match my words with my action. When people ask me, Reverend, you've been talking about compassion and loving kindness. What did you do to show your compassion and loving kindness? You've been talking about theory. You've been talking about philosophy and principles in words. Did you carry your words in action? And many, many years ago, I said, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't. I only talk about it. And then I find out that I really have to prove it. Not just because I want to prove my words into action. It's because internally, I really want to do it. I want to combine theory with practice, not just by empty talk, empty talk, empty talk. So I've been doing for many, many years, 15, 16 years, going to China, different places to, I call it relieving of poverty levels. So I went to different mountainous areas in different parts of China. And for the past 15 years, I've been doing that in China. But more and more I find out that China is getting more prosperous and prosperous every day. And they've become a very economically and financially powerful country. And I don't need to go there to relieve any poverty anymore. So I turned my attention to Thailand. And that's my first target. I went over there. I didn't know that's the place that attracts tourists. That's a place so beautiful on a mountain with tea plantations and so clean, fresh air. When you think of Thailand, you always think of hot weather, stuffy, hot, suffocating. That's in Bangkok, not in Mae Salong. It's fresh. It's been termed by visitors as what? The little Switzerland of Asia. Now you open your eye so that you want to go next time? Yeah. So the little Switzerland of Asia. So that attracts my attention. And surprisingly, whenever I go in Thailand, even in Bangkok, especially in Mae Salong in the northern part, the washrooms are very clean. I think the Thai people are relatively clean people. They like everything to be so clean. That's that's what I think. Because I went to toilets, I went to washrooms, and they always are clean. I went to northern Thailand, Mae Salong. And Mae, you know what Mae means? M-A-E, Mae means mother. It's always coming with the word Mae. Mae means mother. And Doi means mountain. The mother of mountains, the mother of nature. I don't know what Salong means. If you know, you tell me. I'm very interested in learning a language, in the Thai language. And I'm getting more used to it. So Mae Salong is the nature of mother of mountains. And it's very beautiful. So I went to different villages including villages that don't have electricity and power and water. And I went to schools that in which the dormitories have 60 students and they were all sleeping on floors. In the mountainous areas, it's pretty cold at night, and some of those poor children, they always get flu and they don't have shoes to wear, and they sleep on the floor. We buy bunk beds for them. We buy 16 bunk beds for them, and we give them lockers, we give them mattresses, and we also arrange transportation for those who couldn't go to school. They walk an hour and a half to go to school, 3 hours back and forth. We arrange, the kind of transportation we arrange is a little funny. It's a truck, open-end truck, and everybody hang onto a pole, and then they're shaking their way into mountainous areas, and they never fall on the cliffs. They're so used to it. And so, and there are some emergency cases in families where the breadwinner passed away in an accident, and only the mother and a few children survived, and they didn't have enough food. So we immediately gave them emergency fund, and we let the village people know about it. And in other words, we do a lot of relief work. And coincidentally, I went into a primary school, and that primary school was financially paid by a bhikshuni, a nun, a Buddhist nun in Singapore. A Buddhist nun in Singapore for 20 years have been supplying funds to support that school. But that nun, Buddhist nun, is now 90 years old. He couldn't do it anymore. And he wrote to the principal of the school and say, we have to stop in April because we can't supply you any fund anymore. I'm getting old, I'm retiring. And the principal of the school was worrying. We didn't have any money to run the school anymore, and we can't pay the teachers. And just by accident, I went into that tea plantation and said, let's try out some tea in there. So I went in and we started to talk. And then I know that they're waiting for fun. And I say, okay, let us continue it. So I'm going to assume that role to supply fund to continue that school so that they can provide education for 192 students, primary school students. So it's a very old school, sitting on a plateau, overlooking a valley of tea plantation. It's beautiful, but it's a poor, old, dilapidated school. Made of wood, made of metal. And we never thought of renovating it, but if we have enough money, we can even renovate that place. Not just providing salaries for the teachers, but renovating that place so that the children have a better place to live, to study. So I spent 4 days in Mae Salong, and then I went to Bangkok for saving retired old buffaloes and put them in community homes for retired buffaloes. And I'm running out of time, so I'm going to tell you next time on how we saved 25 retired buffaloes. We saved 11 retired buffaloes last year, and we saved another 25. These buffaloes were old. They were 14 years old, 13 years old, and they live up to 15 years. And they contributed their whole life in giving milk for the population. And once they get old, the humans slaughter them for meat. And we find this very unhuman and unfair. They've been contributing to humans, and the humans in turn kill them for food when they get old. They can't give you any milk anymore, and they kill them for the meat. So then I think, yeah, that's the reason why a lot of people, they don't eat beef, because cows are very beneficial animals to humans. And imagine if you are the boss of a company, if your staff is working for you, and when they get old, they say, get away, we don't want you to be here, get away, we don't want to pay you, and go on, you know, you don't do that. You have to look after people who retired. You look after old people retired, but you don't look after old cows who retired. and you kill them brutally, which is not right. So we save as much. We saved 36 buffaloes now. And next year we save another 20 to 30. So I have a lot yet more to tell you about what did we do in saving those buffaloes. And as I said, until then, I'll tell you more. Okay? Yeah.